Hi, Cedar Lee here, and today I'd like to talk about the widespread misunderstanding and disrespect that the general public seems to have towards artists, and the fact that they don't, in general, seem to place much value on what we do or even necessarily think we should be compensated. I've received a lot of requests to make this video, and I've put it off until I felt like I had something constructive to say. So I've actually thought about this quite a lot. If you're not an artist, this may not be something that you've ever even thought about, but for artists, it's something that we all have dealt with. From a young age, we have been told that art isn't a real job, that it's not a valid career path, that if you choose to do that, you're going to be a starving artist because art doesn't pay anything. And no matter how serious we are about our artwork, there's always the implication, either conscious or unconscious, that our art is just a hobby. A common complaint that a lot of artists make is that most people don't see original artwork as something worth paying money for, but on the other hand, people will gladly drop thousands of dollars on electronics or vacations or cheap stuff made in China. I think it's easy for a lot of people to fail to see the amount of work that goes into creating art because they assume that artistic talent is luck of the draw. It's something that people are either born with or not, when in reality it's usually something that people cultivate through thousands of hours of work. As professional artists, we put a lot of time and energy and money into creating our art. So when other people don't realize that or don't acknowledge it or appreciate it, that can be discouraging, to say the least. I once had a conversation with a friend, and he asked me, what is it that artists want? And I said, I guess we just want to be paid for our work, like anyone else, you know? And he said, so you're saying you want a handout? And he just could not fathom that artists do real work that's worth paying money for. A lot of people seem to believe that there's not much difference between a professional artist who's trying to make a living and someone who does art as a hobby. Occasionally when I meet somebody new and I mention that I'm an artist, they'll say something like, oh, my daughter-in-law, she's an artist too. She made me a drawing. She's going to take a class. And what they really heard when I said I'm an artist is they heard me say I enjoy art as a hobby, because they're not even used to thinking of it as a profession. These kind of attitudes are pervasive and very insulting, and they happen because of unchallenged assumptions. So what can we do as artists to deal with this issue as we go about our lives creating our artwork and building our careers? Most people are well-meaning but just ignorant. So acting bitter, angry, or defeated is the worst possible response. So first you want to check your attitude. Make sure that you're positive, and then do what you can to educate others. Meet people where they are. A lot of the time people say dumb things because they've just never really thought about it deeply. Their exposure to art and artists and art history is probably minimal, and they're just regurgitating a twisted cultural narrative that they've never questioned. I'm not saying that you're responsible for giving an art education to every person that you meet, but you can set them straight about assumptions they may not even realize that they have, and you can do it gracefully. Be professional in the way you conduct yourself and the way you speak about your work. Call it your job, because it is your job. Mention the hours of work that you put in, and make sure you talk about the less exciting parts of your job, like marketing artwork, photographing artwork, preparing surfaces to paint on, all those little tasks that go into building a business that people may not think about when they think about artists. And do your part to demystify the art process. You don't have to give away all your secrets to make it clear that what you're doing is a lot of work. My second point is haters are going to hate. And it is your job, your responsibility, to refuse to give haters any power over you whatsoever. Some people just act nasty towards others, and that is not your problem. The next thing is to choose your thoughts carefully. Choose not to listen to negative messages about artists from individuals or society. You get to choose how much value you place on external opinions. You get to choose to take pride in your work. So monitor your thoughts, and when you come across thoughts that don't serve you, stop giving those thoughts energy. Instead, focus your energy on getting to work. Choose to recognize the value that artists have to humanity. We're the ones that get to inspire others, entertain others, get others to think and ask questions. We elevate life by adding new beauty to the world. We are important no matter what anybody says. Remember, the way that you think about your work, and consequently the way that you talk about your work, sets the tone for how others will respond to you. The next point is, the art lovers will find you. There are lots of people out there in the world who love art, who purchase art, who support artists. And what you want to do is attract those people. I personally am amazed by artists. I love looking at new art and discovering new artists. And there are a lot of people out there that feel the same. I bet you feel the same. And there are probably even people in your own social circle right now who would be interested in purchasing your artwork, attending your shows, and giving you good word of mouth. All of that good stuff, if only you make it easy for them with good marketing. Next, I would like to say, don't get stuck in poverty mentality. It may be the case that you're having a hard time selling your artwork. You might not be making much or any money with your art yet, and you may have a day job that you can't quit because you need the money. You may have family responsibilities that take up most of your time. We all have challenges like that, or at least most of us do. But don't allow yourself to wallow in self-pity, and don't complain about your financial situation to every person you meet. Don't reinforce the stereotype of the starving artist. When you think about being poor all the time and you think about being a starving artist, those are self-perpetuating thoughts. So there are a couple things that you can do to change your mind space, to put yourself in the right frame of mind to where you're actually more able to improve your situation. The first thing is to practice gratitude, and daily is best, but however often you're able to do it, you should be trying to write down a list of things that you're grateful for in a journal. This will shift your attitude a lot. The other thing is to write down quantifiable, specific goals and revisit your goals regularly, and that will start to get you on track. My next advice is to band together with other artists. Artists can lift each other up, and they can be the source of a lot of opportunities for each other. Artists are not your competition. They have the potential to be your best friends and greatest allies. If professional artists banded together the way that other professions do into unions and organizations more frequently, a lot of the issues that we face, both financial challenges and cultural challenges, would fade away. So make a point to partner up with lots of other artists and get to know as many of them as you can. Realize that the world is changing rapidly for artists right now, and that in many ways the internet has become a great equalizer. It's never been easier to be an online entrepreneur. You can now reach a huge audience for your work using social media. Take responsibility to use that platform to support all artists and to educate the public about art. There are a lot of people who might be really into art, but they've never given it a chance because they assume they won't understand it or that it's not for them, because art has traditionally been seen as the realm of the elite, as an exclusive thing to be interested in. That's not the case anymore. Use the internet to make your art accessible, and people will respond to it. Okay, lastly, I have a book recommendation. If you haven't read it yet, go find The 4 Agreements. It's a guidebook for life, and it's helped me a lot. And basically, the 4 agreements are, the first one is be impeccable with your words. In our case, this means don't spout bitterness and negativity. It means when you talk about your work, try to convey the passion that you feel. It means when other people disrespect you, intentionally or not, respond gracefully and ask what you can do to educate. It means don't tear other people down. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. This means don't take criticism and rejection personally. Don't take other people's uninformed opinions personally. Realize that whatever somebody's attitudes are towards art and artists, that is all about them. It's not about you. Third is don't make assumptions. That means don't assume that anybody knows what you do exactly, or how hard you work, or how the art world operates. In my experience, the general public has no idea. Don't assume that anybody is out to get you, or that they won't give you a chance, or that they're not intelligent. And don't assume that you'll fail before you've tried. The fourth agreement is always do your best. This is self-explanatory. It means work hard, have integrity. Then when you don't reach your goals, and I mean when, not if, you'll know that you've done your best, and that's all that you can do. I think of failure as a constant companion that walks beside every artist. We all experience lots of failure. Don't let any of it defeat you. Just learn those lessons and move on and do better in the future. I'm happy to report that none of this stuff really bothers me anymore at all. I understand that there are people, even in my close circle of friends and family, that probably will never really get it, and I've made peace with that. If somebody doesn't understand or respect what you do, they're not your audience. Not everybody's going to be your audience, and that's okay. You don't need approval from anybody to follow your vision. Write down your goals and focus on your goals. Learn how to run a business. Learn how to use the internet to market your work. If you're working hard, you'll be too busy to get bent out of shape about all the people in this world who don't support you. When it comes to your work, those are not the people who matter. I'm not implying that these challenges aren't real or that they don't make life harder for all of us, because they do. What I'm saying is don't waste your energy on things that you can't change. Instead, focus on things that you can create out of nothing. Focus on being a positive force. Now I just would like to read a couple quotes that have inspired me. The first one is from Gandhi. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. We need not wait to see what others do. And the other one is Steve Jobs. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. I've already found a lot of people who love my artwork and who purchase my artwork and support me in many ways. And I've done this by taking these kinds of attitudes and this kind of approach in my work. So hopefully something I've said can help you shift the way that you're thinking about this problem. And good luck to you all.